Okay. This is kind of big. This is actually kind of big. So, ACS. Okay, we all know what ASL is, right? And I think a lot of you do know what ACS is, but I'm just going to explain it real quick. So ASL is obviously AfreecaTV's Starleague, and it's like where all the pros play and are super, super strong. I'm just going to pause that for a moment. ACS is called the AfreecaTV Challengers Starleague. Okay, this is kind of an amateur tournament. So basically, if you are a pro gamer who has been in ASL, you are not allowed to play in this. If you have won this tournament, you are not allowed to play in this. Okay? If you win the ACS, there is some prize money. The top 4, by the way, go to the AfreecaTV studio and play on TV. It doesn't get an English broadcast. I've tried for years to get it. And they won't let us. But anyways, yeah, so the ACS, the top 1, the player who ends up winning gets to go to the very final match of an ASL qualifier bracket. So the ASL qualifier brackets are pretty insane. Like, you can get pretty deep as a good player, but like the same players are in ASL almost all the time. So ACS is like one of these ways that newer players can kind of rise up, have another tournament that they're playing, and get that extra shot to get a new face in. Okay, some of the, like, everyone has played in ACS. I've actually played in like probably 10 ACS tournaments. You know, Scan got second in ACS once. Yoon, I believe, won ACS. You know, there's just a lot of the top players that are becoming ASL players have played in the ACS. There's 2 of them a year. There's 1 before each of the ASLs. So anyways, that's kind of the buildup, okay? Now, this ACS season was really impressive and really different. Let's take a look, okay? So, little spoiler here. We had a Chinese player actually win his bracket in ACS. Okay, now this is legitimate stuff. I want to mention something. This is open to anyone who hasn't won ASL. And obviously, to win ASL is harder, but there's no jokes in ACS. Like, in general, for many years while living in Korea, I played in both the ACS qualifiers and the ASL qualifiers. I won more rounds in ASL qualifiers by far. In ASL, like, a lot of people sign up. They're like, oh, wow, ASL, like, I'll go play those qualifiers, right? And so there's like a big range of players. For ACS, it's a serious try-hard tournament. Like, if you look at this set of names, you guys know a lot of these names. Okay, these are extremely strong players. There's no weaklings that sign up for ACS almost ever. So, like, to win even 1 round, you're like, damn, I'm pretty good. It's like generally 2,500 MMR and up. And like a lot of these guys are actually like 2,800 MMR. Okay, so let's take a look, because it's like an insane set of players. And taking a look at the bracket. Okay, so this first bracket, Wikipedia does itself to fill in. Because these players are more amateur, it's hard to fill in the bracket perfectly, right? Because generally what you do is you sign up with your name, like your actual name, and it's like, okay, well, there's a ton of Korean names in there. They grab the ones that they can and put them into the brackets, but we'll just take a quick look, right? So Tengu won this bracket. That is no surprise. He's considered probably the strongest amateur player in Korea right now. Tengu has been on top of the ladder. Like, he's been top 10 on the ladder for months and months and months right now. And he has like 50 accounts, all of them super high up. He's playing like 24/7 at the moment. Extremely strong. And going in, he was probably the favorite overall for ACS this season, which, by the way, it hasn't finished. The qualifiers just happened. Okay. And I mean, the other players here, you guys have seen some of these guys. I've played against them a lot. Like Stone, I play all the time on the ladder. He's one of those Protosses that just smashes me and complains about lag. Okay, so down here in Group B, I actually don't know who Highway is, but you can see here lots of well-known names. So DeWalt lost first round 2-1. Okay, tough. 9Drone is someone who has gotten within 1 game of qualifying for ASL multiple times. He's like a 2,900 Mutalisk only player. Like, he has one of the best, if not the best, Mutalisk micro in the world. Incredible player. But Mihu 2-0'd him. As you can see, Mihu cutting through people, went to the finals lost a map. I mean, lost 2 maps, but won 1 map, which is amazing. That is like a really strong performance already. Like on the first day of the qualifiers, we had the best performance ever by a non-Korean player in ACS by far. So Mihu within 1 game of making that final tournament. And I mean, you see some of these other guys. These are very strong players. I know all of these except Highway, actually, which is kind of funny. But you guys have seen me occasionally get wrecked by pretty much everyone in this bracket. And then Group C, another Chinese player playing. In fact, 2 of them. Xiao Shui ended up winning. So let's take a look, right? So we don't know who that was. He played MD here, and then he played Zhanhun. And Zhanhun, another Chinese player. He is the best Chinese Protoss player. And look at this. He took down Teja. He took down Multi. Multi is very, very good right now. And then he ended up losing to his countrymen 1-2. So Xiao Shui actually qualified for ACS, which is wild, which means I think AfreecaTV is going to fly him over, if I'm not mistaken, right? Obviously, it's not a very expensive flight or anything from China to Korea. But he takes out Promise in the finals there. Promise is very, very good. We've seen him play in CNSL a lot and everything. Dude, I mean, these are stacked brackets. I know some people watching this only really know the ASL players, but like Quickly, Promise, Multi, you know, Teja, these are really, really strong players. And Xiao Shui to take that down in the finals and make it, this is like big, big news. He's going to be in that final tournament. And then we can just look at this other bracket, and Rushgoon tried to play. Xiao Gigi actually ended up taking down Sobens and lost only 1-2 to Rich. Rich is like 2,700 plus. I actually have played him a million times on the ladder. He is the laggiest Korean player, honestly. Like, I know there's lag between me and the Koreans, but like he's like turn rate 8 extra high every single time. He has terrible internet and everyone knows it. But he took out Prime in the finals, but almost lost to Xiao Gigi. So that's pretty damn impressive, right? The Chinese players had a 6 showing. Mihu almost making it. Zhanhun losing to eventual winner and countrymen, Xiao Shui. And then Xiao Gigi taking down Sobens and almost taking down Rich. That is a ridiculous result for China, which is very exciting because, again, ASL has never had a foreigner in it. We haven't had a non-Korean player in a Korean Starleague since Elki. I believe the last time Elki was in anything was either late 2003 or early 2004. So that's like a very long time. We're on 10 years minimum of not having a non-Korean player in a Korean Starleague. And I mean, it's been a long, long time. So the finals, it's pretty cool. You do see some of each race, a couple Protoss, Tengu, and Xiao Shui. Now, I don't think Xiao Shui will be able to get through. It's a great result. I hope he can get through. I don't know what the bracket is actually going to look like. Let's actually take a look at main event. Maybe they have it set up. Oh, he got super lucky here with the bracket, okay? Because Tengu, I think, would just smash Xiao Shui. But there's a possibility here that Highway could take down Tengu, and maybe Xiao Shui can ZVP his way to the finals. For those of you who don't know, like I've seen a lot of Xiao Shui's games. He's much better ZVZ and ZVP than he is at ZVT. He's kind of like a little bit too aggressive and not completely filled out in Zerg versus Terran. So I wouldn't give him much chance against Tengu. I do think Tengu will probably win, but I guess we'll see about that. It looks like January 20th, they're going to play that first round. I think they'll probably play all of it, but that's really soon. Wow, that's really soon. It's like in just over a day. So just some exciting news that I wanted to bring. The Chinese scene continues to improve. They've got a ton of tournaments over there right now. They have a ton of super active players, and that's really exciting. Like, and the thing is, everyone, all those players that I mentioned will play in the ASL qualifiers, I have no doubt, right? Like the very top Chinese players, they normally get very good connections. They use like VPNs and stuff to be able to get good turn rate to Korea so they can play the qualifiers online. And so like they're, you know, Xiao Shui doesn't have to win this to necessarily make it into ASL or for us to get a non-Korean into ASL. But that's like a huge result. That's like something that you will walk around with pride for the rest of your life, that you played in an ACS top 4. right? Because that's like, you know, so there's like the set of how many different players have ever been in ASL, because they can't play, right? So it's like, let's call it 50. Let's call it 50 players. And then ACS top 4, it's like, damn, man, you're like maybe top 60-ish player in the world right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys. I'm really rooting for Xiao Shui. I hope you can play well there. But yeah, the Korean players are well, I mean, the Chinese players are, well, I wouldn't call it catching up, but maybe going to give us some interesting times in ASL coming up.